Hey guys, it's Ridiculous. Playing Battle Legion for a little while now, and I just wanted to share my army setup and see if it could help anyone else out. We'll take a look and see how I fare against the masses. A quick pause and let's look at our opponents on this one. His troop levels appear to be significantly higher than mine. I see at level 94 and 75 and a lot of high levels. I do have 175, but my troops are fairly low for my trophy range. I also think his setup will stall me out, and he's going to win this one. Let's take a look and see what happens. We're going to watch this in double time. I'm trying to fight on my half of the map, and I'm doing that successfully, but I don't know that I'll be able to get to his Necromancer or Arcane Archer, and I'm really worried about that Mechanical Horror. But we cleared out most of his troops in the middle, and now I can focus the Mechanical Horror. Got that down successfully. It's still not over. This is going to be a really close one. My Arcane Archer is greater than his Arcane Archer. Maybe a little bit of luck on my side for that one, but I'll take it. Let's look at the next one. This looks like my ideal opponent. You can see based on the placement of my assassins, they should come up in the middle of his army, probably take out that tower. Hopefully his plague throwers will step forward and my assassins can get them as well. I see he's got some thorn guards in the back, and that's to prevent assassins from doing much work, but my assassins are going to spawn well in front of that, hopefully take out a lot of his key troops, and then the rest should be a slaughter. Let's see. Yeah, this is playing out exactly like I thought. You can see my assassins did exactly what I said, and my warhounds getting that Arcane Archer down at the bottom make this an absolute slaughter. So often I see people put their assassins in the back of their armies, and I think that's a mistake. The majority of your opponents will put their key attacking troops in the middle of their army in the hopes that that will protect them. Place your assassins accordingly and you will have easy victories like this one. At first glance, it's really easy for me to see this one is not going to end well. One of the vulnerabilities of this setup is that it can easily be overrun if you have a lot of troops. The bigger problem, though, is that blessed bomb bot right in the middle. Even if I thin out his troops and kill a lot of them, that thing is going to go off and revive all his troops. But one thing I do want to look at with this is the way that I have my stuff set up to handle the enemy assassins. So let's take a look at how that plays out. You can see his assassins pop up right in the middle of the map, and my arcane blades pull them forward and away from some of those vulnerable troops in the back. Definitely not enough to save this battle, but I wanted to point that out as how I handle those assassins. Kind of pull them away from my vulnerable troops and leave them exposed for some of my other damage dealers to take care of once they become visible. And we're going to keep rolling with this next one. You can see this guy has a lot of troops as well, but one of the things that is really good about my setup here is if the troops are not a lot of mobile troops, like a lot of hounds or wolves or any of those things, then this comp will stall them out. So even though he had a lot of troops, I was able to stall him out. He couldn't do a lot of damage because of my monk, and so it ends up in the victory. Alright, let's pause this next one. This is a comp that you'll see very often where people use walls or something to contain their troops up in a corner. The truth is, against a comp like this, I'm about 50-50. This guy's got some really big troops. I see a couple 100s. I don't know if that's his tower there that's 100 in the back corner, but he's got some big troops, but he's also got some little ones. So let's roll this and see how it goes. I imagine it will come down to how well my Arcane Archer can take care of business. Okay, so I have a lot more troops in the middle of the map, so I imagine mine will crush through his really quickly. But then the question is, what happens with my Arcane Archer? Oh my goodness. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? This is the prime time. Okay, the Arcane Archer got hung up on those towers, but finally escaped. But at this point, it's a little late because those little ghouls that the Necromancer raises from the dead, my Arcane Archer is focusing on them. So I'm going to get stalled out here. This is not looking good. I don't know if that was just a calamity of circumstance. But yeah, that ends in a defeat. If my Arcane Archer had sprung free a little earlier or not gotten stuck on the towers, I imagine that could have been a victory. But that's okay. We'll just go next and look at this next one. This looks like a perfect opponent for me. He's got some of his bigger troops right in the middle of the map. I imagine my assassins are going to clear all of those out, and then they'll be able to stall the rest out. It'll be easy victory. Let's take a look. Yeah, once the monk and the stormcaller fall, the rest is pretty easy. I've got my shield up, so the only thing really doing damage to me right now is the arcane archers. Those are generally only picking off a couple targets at a time, so this would be an easy victory. It'll take just a second to track down those archers, but once we do, victory. Alright, let's take a look at one or two more. So this one you can see this guy's troops are a lot higher than mine, but this is still going to be an easy victory because my assassins are going to take out the core of his army, the core of his defense. Let's see how it plays out. Well, I really want the assassins to get that monk down first. Taking out that wizard was great, and they do a ton of work, including getting that Valkyrie. That absolutely destroys his comp, and even though his arcane archer is hitting like 4 or 5 of my troops at a time, it's too little too late for him. So it's fair to say that the strength of this army revolves around the positioning of the assassins. And here we have another army that this is going to be effective against. Although with the sheer number of troops he has, this will be a really good test. While my assassin should take out that necromancer and the plague throwers really quickly, I don't know if I'll be able to stall out the rest of his army long enough. Let's see. It looks like my arcane blades did a really good job of stalling out the north part of his army, and so those troops came in gradually, allowing my tower and other troops to take him out. That was really, really effective. You do have to watch out for those arcane archers, though. I've lost many a battle to one lone, really well-aimed arcane archer. Alright, let's look at this last one. Again, this is going to be a good test. The two things that I'm worried about are if my assassins get stuck on that mechanical horror. Also, his assassins seem to be positioned to take out a lot of my good troops. Let's see how this plays out. So, I'm not quite sure what happened to one of his assassins, but the other one went north following my arcane blades, and so that was able to protect some of my vital troops like the plague throwers, and now my army is able to stall his army out, so this is going to be a victory. I want to go back and look at his assassins, though. So we'll restart it and slow it down and zoom in. It looks like his one assassin follows my arcane blades. The other kills one of my sweet little chihuahuas. Oh, and then he takes some damage from my arcane archer, which exposes him, and then my tower finishes him off. That makes sense. Well, regardless, it was a victory. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. I know from the clips we watched, it looks like the win rate on this army is really, really high, and I do hover right around that 60% range, and I have spiked as high as 88% as you see in the thumbnail. It is worth noting, though, that I use this right in that 1800 to 2400 trophy range. It was really, really effective there. But since I have recorded this footage, I stumbled upon another army comp that is really, really effective and has pushed me from that 2400 range all the way into the 3800 range. I will show you that in the next video.